when I welcomed 2025, I had excitement, I had zeal, I had everything you can think of. And the reason for that is because I had the word of the Lord. He told me, enlarge, right? But I did not understand what he fully meant when he said enlarge. Welcome everybody to my podcast. I'm your host, Adv Mokoteli. I'm super excited with the series that we're kicking off today. And that series is the stretch between the levels. I call it the stretch. I want to give you a story, well, almost like a backdrop of how this story actually came about. What I've realized with most of us is that we go through experiences, but we never articulate the experiences that we go through. I always think about why is it that before or after a breakthrough, we are met with resistance, we are met with hardships. What is it that is going on at that moment? So that is why I want us to go into this journey together, talking about what is really going on in the stretch, giving us the language for it. Because I believe that the things that we don't articulate correctly are the things that trip us up. But once we get the language for them, we will get to understand what we are dealing with. We don't talk about this because we celebrate new year, new me, new levels, breakthrough, the glow ups, right? But never the how. And I feel like I'm repeating myself here because I want us to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about the stretch. Even those that have gone through it, they really never really talk about it, you know? And I always wonder, is it because I lack the books, access to the books that do talk about these things? And it could be, because I doubted that God has not led us to experience this very phenomenon. So, allow me, your lawyer, teacher, reinvention strategist, to walk hand in hand with you as we unfold this mystery of what is happening in the stretch. The truth nobody talks about is that the new levels never come with a bang. It begins with a tension. Not because something is wrong, but because something is changing. Between who you were and who you are becoming, there's a stretch. And here's the free truth. The stretch is uncomfortable by design. I want that to sit with you. Because once I embraced it, I stopped fighting. Once I embraced what was happening to me, I stopped looking for answers. We're going to talk about it honestly and openly. And this is my invitation to you, that if you find yourself in the beginning of this year with a tension inside, with an unknowing, with silent knowing, you know what I'm talking about. It means you are in transition. Most of us are coming out of jobs into new jobs. Most of us are coming out of varsity into either a job or unemployment. Most of us are starting a business that we are scared to even start. But this is where I want to meet you, because this is where the magic lies. It is in the stretch. And the stretch is truly necessary. Let's walk together. Let's take this first episode and unpack and find ourselves. Where are we in this journey of growth? It's important for me to share with you a story as we kick off this series that will really give you an understanding of where I've been and why I'm authority to talk about where we are. When I welcome 2025, I had excitement, I had zeal, I had everything you can think of. And the reason for that is because I had the word of the Lord. He told me, enlarge, right? But I did not understand what he fully meant when he said enlarge. I thought I understood. I thought I'm a business person, throw in a few projects in there and there. Trust me, I'll be satisfied, because that would mean I've enlarged. But what he did for me was to invite me into a convergence I have never known. And when I talk about convergence, I want you to understand it is the sweet spot that exists between who you were born to be, what you are skilled to do, and getting paid for that. And why it matters for me is that I had spent the last 10 years of my life not being able to monetize the very thing that I believed God was calling me to. I was a mark. I got mocked. People laughed, right? Because it all never made sense. But one thing I did, even in that unknowing, in that discomfort, I leaned in, I stayed. But I don't want to go deep into that. It's going to be an episode for another day. But I want to invite you to a new project that I get allocated. Have Voice, which is the organization that we run, Restoring God's Order for Female Design. For the first time, it gets allocated a project. And I'm super excited. Wouldn't you be? You have thought of the solution in your head for years. You have played it out. You have seen what is it that the Lord wants to do in someone's life using this framework. So this is your opportunity for the first time to actually do the do. Guess what? The Lord says no. I want you to get out, get a team, let them deliver. Guys, I hyperventilated. I flipped. I could not believe that the very thing that I thought I was waiting for, God was saying, I need you to move up higher. It's at this point where the resistance happened for me, because I could not believe that this is God who's telling me I cannot do what he has called me to do, right? Long story short, I obeyed without even understanding. The thing about the stretch is that it is there to service us. The tension is there for something beautiful. In the following episodes, I'm going to walk us through what actually the purpose of the stretch is. Because if I had the language I have now, I don't think I would have had hyperventilation. I would have leaned in, which is something that I wish would happen for you. So thank you so much for joining me for this first episode. I'm excited to chill with you in the following episode. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode. Bye.